All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about one of the most dangerous places you can work, confined spaces. And look, this is not about ticking boxes or cutting corners. This is the real deal, the essential guide to the protocols that are going to keep everyone safe. Seriously. The rules we're about to go over, they're totally non-negotiable. Getting these right can literally be the difference between life and death. And this quote, it just nails the core issue, doesn't it? See, it's not the space itself that's the real enemy. It's getting complacent. This one simple idea really sets the stage for everything else we're going to cover. The danger is absolutely real, but here's the thing. It's manageable, but only if you follow the safety rules every single time without fail. So let's break down exactly what those rules are. Okay, so our first section, the first steps to safety before you enter. And this is so crucial. The work, the real safety work, it doesn't start when you step inside. Nope. The most important things you're going to do happen way before you even get near that entry point. This is the foundation for the whole operation. So here's our first line of defense, broken down into two essential steps. First step, the permit. And you got to understand, this is so much more than just paperwork. Think of it as your safety contract, a checklist that proves you've identified every hazard and have all your precautions ready to go. And second, the atmospheric check. You know, what you can't see can definitely hurt you. Checking oxygen levels, testing for toxic or flammable gases, it's not optional, it's mandatory. This is how you find those invisible threats before they turn into a total disaster. All right, next up, your protective gear, on-site essentials. So you've got the green light on paper, the space is cleared for entry, now it's time to gear up. This part is all about controlling the environment and, protecting your own skin with the right equipment. So the first thing you have to do is provide proper ventilation. And what I love about this is how simple, yet how incredibly important it is. It's not good enough to know the air was safe 10 minutes ago. You have to make sure it stays safe. That means using a blower or a fan to constantly force fresh, breathable air into that space. You're creating a continuous, safe atmosphere for the whole job. This is an active safety measure, not a passive one. You're actively making it safe. And here we've got your personal armor and your toolkit. I mean, standard stuff like helmets, gloves, safety shoes, that's a given, right? But pay close attention to the key words here, required and approved. If that gas test you did earlier showed even a hint of risk, then a gas mask isn't a suggestion, it's essential. And what about your lights and your power tools? They have to be, and I mean absolutely must be, approved for this kind of environment. Why? To prevent a single spark from igniting flammable gases. Seriously, you can't just grab any old flashlight or drill from the truck. Okay, let's move on to our next section, your lifeline, the human element. Look, you can do all the prep, you can have all the best gear in the world, but that equipment is totally useless without people and a plan. This next part, this is your lifeline. It's the human systems that make sure this whole thing actually works safely. So you need to keep a standby man outside the confined space. And this right here is one of the most critical roles in this entire process. Let me be super clear. The standby person is not a helper. They're not there to go fetch tools. They are a dedicated safety watch. Their one and only job is to monitor the person inside, keep that communication line open, and be the very first link in the rescue chain if things go south. At all times. And let's just pause on that for a second. At all times. There are absolutely zero exceptions to this rule. I'm not kidding. Not for 30 seconds to grab a tool, not for a quick coffee break. That lifeline, that person, must be there, constant and unbroken, for the entire time someone is inside. Period. And of course, your emergency rescue plan and communication system must be ready. This really drives home the whole idea of being prepared, right? It's not enough to have a plan sitting in a binder on a shelf somewhere. No way. The actual rescue gear has to be right there, on site. Your communication system, whether it's radios or hand signals, has to be tested and working. And every single person on the team needs to know exactly what their job is if something goes wrong. It has to be ready to go instantly. All right, our final section, the final mandate, go home safe. So we've walked through the permits, the gear, and the people. Every single one of these protocols, every step we've talked about, it all points to one single ultimate goal. And this quote, your life is important. Follow confined space safety. Work safe, go home safe. I mean, that really says it all, doesn't it? This stuff isn't about following regulations just for the sake of it. It's about understanding that your life and the lives of the people you work with are what really matter. Following these procedures isn't just a job requirement, it's a promise to yourself, to your team, and to your family. You work safe so you can go home safe. And really, that's what it all boils down to. Is your safety checklist 100% complete? The next time you're standing at the entrance to a confined space, I want you to ask yourself that exact question. Because when it comes to this kind of work, when it comes to safety, 99% just isn't good enough.